Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Due Process League Season 5 Lower League Qualifiers. We're looking at round 2 now, and this time I'm joined by Z. How's it going?
Not too shabby. Just got back from a little vacay, so I'm glad I could jump in
Nice.
and help you do a little bit of streaming and stuff. So let's
Yeah,
get
I
into
really
some
appreciate
Deep
it.
Process game. Yeah, for sure, man. Excited.
Yeah. So this time we're looking at Rebel Alliance versus Mollusk Munchers. In the last game, we did see Rebel Alliance defeat Orange Grove 7-1, a pretty decisive victory. And I believe Mollusk Munchers, they faced up against Team Nice. I'm not sure what the score of that one was, but oh, they forfeit. Okay, Team Nice forfeit that game apparently.
Oh, that does happen sometimes.
Yeah. Um. Yeah, I believe the teams are queuing, so we should see them in pretty soon. But yeah, Rebel Alliance. Last game we talked about them a little bit. They were previously Eclipse. They've been around for quite a bit. So have Mouse Munchers. Last season, season 4, the Mouse Munchers joined in kind of halfway through, but did really well. I mean, I think they won almost all their games. I don't think they lost any anyway,
Oh,
until
that's good to
they
hear.
reached relegations. So this time, maybe we'll see them in relegations again. They have a pretty decent chance here, although Rebel Alliance is a pretty good team as well. But yeah, personally, I'm not really sure which team is going to come out the victor here. I think both teams are pretty good. I think both teams can absolutely take it. I'd kind of lean a little bit more towards Mollusk Munchers, but like only by the slightest. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what both of these teams bring to the table because they're new to me. A lot of times, you'll be able to take a look at some of these teams and go, "Yeah, I really know kind of how these players will play," and you can kind of get an idea of what the outcome will be. But yeah, looking at some of the new teams that are kind of coming out, some of it's kind of in the air. So I'm very interested to see what ends up happening here between these two teams.
Yeah, for sure. I believe they're getting in. I think the queue may have failed. Hmm. Okay, I guess we can talk about the other matchup that's going on. I think Sachi is streaming it. You can probably, if the viewers want to see it, you can probably find it through just the Due Process category on Twitch. Wasted Potential versus We Are Not Sponsored by Red Bull. A bit of a mouthful of a team name. We are not sponsored by Red Bull, but yeah, I think that's a pretty exciting match as well. Wasted Potential new to this season, but they've shown up really strong. I think they came like third place in the Swiss stage. Let me double check that. Yeah, third place. Losing only one match and drawing a bunch. We are not sponsored by Red Bull, coming sixth place, but winning their first their first round in the qualifiers versus, I believe, Space Rangers. Yeah, they won 7-3. I think that'll be a pretty good match to watch as well.
Do you know what the current score line is, or are they just getting started?
Um, Wasted Potential versus We're Not Sponsored by Red Bull. I'm not sure. I don't see them in. Do I even have? I'm sure I have some of them added. I don't see them on the friends list though.
Gotcha.
Hmm. Oh yeah, no, I'm looking at the coordination. They're saying they're just queuing now.
Got it. Yeah, I wasn't sure if it was already a game in progress or coming up yet. So.
Yeah. um. Okay. I'm gonna ask in the coordination channel. Um. Are they queuing? I'm not really sure what's happening there. They're kind of just chatting. I'm not really. Oh, okay. No, they're in. Never mind. Okay. Apparently, they queued up and accepted it. Okay.
Wonderful.
All right. Cool. We get into the game. So yeah, as it loads in, yeah, I think my prediction would be on Mollusk Munchers. As I said earlier, I think it's going to be a pretty close game. I think both teams are at a pretty similar level. But I think I'd like to lean a little bit towards Mollusk Munchers. But yeah, here we are on the first map on a Sea Store, Olympus Hades, even Hades. So yeah, this map is. I don't think I've really seen this map much actually. Maybe it's a new one. It does look like the attackers are immediately looking towards storage for the power and the button, because both of them are very close to each other. The door charge there. I think the main little bit of resistance would be pushing into Teller, but if you can get into that Teller, I mean, you have control of power, so you can very easily open up the storefront. It does look like the defenders are setting up some flares around Teller and storage because they're expecting something to come from there, but they don't really have any barbs towards there yet. Everyone on Teller, one up in bathroom. Yeah, I kind of like this map. I don't think it's one where like a storefront charge is the absolute best thing to do. I think there's definitely some more options here. Like even the green door looks kind of nice because you can throw some flashes in through the arcade windows there.
Yeah, the entry here too gets some nice storefront angle too, which kind of gives you a little bit of like a look over this section right here.
Yeah, exactly.
Kind of get around that, but I do personally feel like this Teller push can get shut down really easy by either having some defensive properties here, because like if you know they're going to push in through here, a barbed wire is going to do you wonders. Plus, you could use, if this door opens this way, you have kind of a shield if it is a storefront breach and still hold the backside of Teller. So even if you put the barbed wire deeper off of the green, you can molly, you can shoot from an angle, and you're still protected from anything that blows open here, right? So I feel like that even people coming through arcade, right? So you kind of have, this is kind of a linchpin position, I feel.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, this Teller hole I think will also be pretty important. It would be especially important if they had a barbed wire there, but it looks like they got Duke Luke on a Molotov pretty close to the red door, ready on that. But it does look like they're doing a 3-2 split, two towards arcade as well.
Molly goes out right away. Cats takes a little bit of damage as Duke does back off. They are delayed though, so you have this team waiting for this push off a storefront. They are going to try to go for this button, I think, because they do have this sniper off the bottom side as they finally have control of storage. All in front of Teller, you can see them starting to stack up here, trying to get a little bit of push on the screen door, as Dylan starts pushing in towards Shadow as he backs off. There's a little bit of damage that did go down, but they do have control of this storefront now. The Saber now in play as he takes out Baked Beans right away, trying to get that Flogel, the coin turn Flogel barb on that door, but immediately gets sniped out. Dylan now pushing in, and Shadow now gets dropped in storefront. The attackers have this completely locked down. Donboy now trying to get a little bit of trade as he's working with Duke, but Duke gets taken on the backside as well as Rowe starts walking around and gets the flank. It's all down to Booty Frank trying to make his presence known here as he's working this bathroom, but like it's going to be a little bit of an issue. They're already on bomb defusing. He might just be on a save point here.
Running around in circles, wondering what the hell does he do?
Don't go down. Yeah, he doesn't really have a lot of ways into the bomb room, either through wire or through this open door or doorway position here. He's just got to try to survive now. If he can get some attack out, no, he's gonna get dropped right now. Dylan absolutely shreks him with the found knack too.
On the attacker,
man, that's scary.
Scary. Yeah, a pretty
is not
decisive round. I think they were slowed down quite a bit when they got into storage, but once the Molotovs wore off, and they were able to start pushing into Teller, just a bunch of flashes in Teller. Kind of once they opened up storefront, it was round over, man. Dylan ran up straight through arcade, right into freezer, got all the way to the top side of the map like instantly, man. Guy's like the Flash, I swear. This guy just pushes, but it really works out for them.
Yeah, that storefront, like I said, you really have to guard that button, and that linchpin position just isn't
Yeah.
good without having a little bit of that protection to slow down the attackers. Because I felt like where they put the barbed wire at that north side of the map, it made it so rotations were a lot harder to get in behind the attackers, right? Like you kind of just stuffed yourself.
Yeah, it did seem like kind of the less important barbed wire. I think the one on
Hmm
Teller was
hmm
was definitely more important. But yeah, moving on to Bank Yellow Scepter.
Yep.
Um, another map I haven't really seen. Oh no, I have seen this actually. I saw this in I think I did production for one. I saw the team I was watching did a double charge onto the button from hallway red door right onto the button. I don't like plans like that. Because you sure you hit the button, but then you have to run around, and by the time you've run around,
Yeah.
the defenders can kind of run up and close the button again.
Yeah,
But it does look like. Oh yeah, what were you gonna say?
no, I was gonna say I do like this. I do like that idea, just because security is always such a tough rotation point.
Yeah, so it does look like the attackers are looking more towards entrance, which they've removed the door charge. Okay, they're still thinking. They do have a lot of utility set up on entrance, so I'm going to assume they're still going entrance.
No, I think it's gonna be green. It's gonna be a
Green.
green push into wall,
Ooh. Okay.
because that also gets you. This gets you lobby as well. I think was what they're thinking. So if they can get in, it's kind of weird because just doing this is easy enough. But I think they just want to avoid having somebody kill them. I hope they do this wall before they push the button though, so you can actually clean loans out. You know.
Mm.
But we'll see. It might be entrance. No, they still have that wall charge. They have the wall
Yeah,
charge.
no, I think they're definitely going just full green. Last second change of plans. I think definitely getting out of this accounting is kind of rough. I mean, there's a lot of kind of tight angles. Molotovs come down, you kind of get stuck.
Yeah, Shadow the only man on that first point of contact, but he decided he'd rather pull back and hold off the long teller here. I don't know if that's quite the right play. I would have rather have seen him move over into lobby. It seems like there's a lot of defenders, but I guess he's going to just hold up as the close range support. As the Baked Beans does take a shot and does hit Dylan, so they've already done a little bit of damage here on the attackers. Shadow might be caught. Nope, they now have tellers open. Flash goes out. And now they have control over the teller position. So Baked Beans might get another shot here as Cats finally neutralizes Duke here, who is hiding in the center. We've got now the defenders are kind of pushed back along. I mean, at this point, you're either going to try to push out and rotate on the backside of security, continue to try to hold loans, but the button is open now for attackers.
Kind of deciding on whether or not they want to hit the button because
Wall goes open and the molly goes out here. Frag goes out in the hallway as Baked Beans gets picked up on that backside of hall by Digital.
yeah, I like the attack waited on the button hit so that the defenders can
Ooh, John tries to retreat in, but he already goes down. And Shadow is hiding the backside. Booty Frank is trying to... Oh, this flank by Shadow is really good, but Roby is already in the bomb room, and now Shadow's got to try to challenge Hero here. Oh man, as a double crossfire goes out between Hero and Digital, DR, and absolutely they both get dropped. That Saber doing a lot of work there in that long hallway position.
Yeah, absolutely. Jeez, yeah. I as I was saying, I really that Hero was on the button, but they were like, no, don't press it yet, because if they press it early, the defenders are just going to rotate back into Vault. But because they waited and then did the wall charge before that, the defenders didn't have time to get back into Vault. Dumboy tried it, but got picked off.
Yeah, I mean, the Molly did a little bit of delay, but it just, there was a lot of good on the attackers, like getting that, starting to push in towards that backside hallway too, is they started hemming in the defenders, really. So they had not a lot of real estate to work with, and they're like, we got to get to the objective. They're already kind of there, that we've already given up the button. I do feel on Banks specifically, it's like, challenge them on the button, because it's a double objective.
Yeah.
You can always have the people in the back fall back, right, and try to get into the vault once it gets activated, or at least work as a defense team around it. So, but you need to put a little bit more of a, you know,
early presence, kind of.
Yeah, some pressure on maintaining that first objective. It is the only map that has two objectives technically in it.
Yeah, kind of just try and make the attackers sweat a little bit while taking that first objective, just so that they're more likely to use some utility, maybe take a bit of damage as well. But yeah, moving on to Kill House, the last round of the set. Pale Falcon. Yeah, another map that I've played quite a bit and I quite like. I think it has some like kind of unique aspects to it. Just in that I feel like this bar here is just I don't really see a bar like this in any other map.
I like that it's connected with reception too, and it's
Yeah,
completely closed off, right? So you kind of have this view, if you want to rotate or do defense here on reception and then move through. I also really like the door placement, so it causes you to, if attackers come in, if you're firing at them at this position or off of this corner or something, like your retreat can get, kind of cut off, or you can take fire, from the attackers as you kind of make your way into the bar area and try to take your next hold. So
yeah, absolutely. I think just the bar, because you can't get towards hallway, it always makes this hallway swing from this door if you're pushing club. It just makes it really scary for attackers that you kind of have to always watch it, even though it's pretty much on the opposite side of the map from the bomb. Like as a defender, if you're playing there, you're pretty far from the bomb. It's always a really power position just because you can swing out and get the attackers from behind. But it does look like the attackers are...
Smoke early. All right, they were a little bit worried about
Yeah.
getting actually picked on that bar, so I kind of like this. I feel like it was the smoke was a little bit misplaced because it's kind of covering the screen door. Don, I was hoping would challenge this once again.
Yeah,
you've got
falling back a bit early.
Yeah, we've seen the defenders getting a little bit scared early to kind of reinforce. Big Bean's kind of laying down a little bit of that wall fire. As Digital now, this is open for him, so Club is completely open. Duke could get picked here a little bit later. As he starts trading, Duke does get dropped by Digital Doctor. As now the attackers full force push in. It's Dylan in the front, followed by Cats. The defenders are starting to run out of a lot of real estate, and they can't do anything with Digital watching off the backside. As they now are literally almost on top of the top of the bomb, as Dylan now flanks in, and it's Shadow, Duke, and Big Beans all get absolutely destroyed with Dylan with the 4K. Oh my goodness, he came in as a wrecking crew and just deleted everybody.
Yeah, perfect flash onto the auto shotgun there. When I saw that auto shotgun, I was like, oh, this guy's going to get 3 kills. But then a flash lands right at his feet, and he's basically just shooting at the floor as Dylan walks past him, kills his teammate, turns around, kills him.
And they still have utility, too. Cats still had flashes and stuff. See, this is you.
Did they even use their door charge?
I don't think they did. I guess they did, unless...
They brought a door charge for they brought a door charge for door charging one of the green doors, but Dylan kind of just, again, push is his kind of mental attitude with these games. He just pushed straight through like all their barbed wires and got all the way up to hallway, immediately throws down his nades the barb, and then like a few seconds later his teammates have finally caught up. He's like,
going back through that,
compared to...
I'm watching the replay right now, and it was just the auto shotgun had the door, but changed to a molly, and then all of the attackers rotated in, and by the time he switched, the flash had gone out, and then he just died.
Yeah, that is a huge thing for me. Whenever I play an auto shotgun, I'm like, guys, I am not taking a Molotov, because pulling out an auto shotgun it takes as long as the morp. You don't want any utility on an auto shotgun. You bring the barbs at the start of the round, and you don't bother with Molotovs. You have that.
Dylan ended up also halfway through while he was fighting, switched to his pistol and finished off, I think, 2 people, and that was just absolutely disgusting. So, yeah, good on them. The good use of utility, and that's the thing, you gotta challenge them early, because otherwise they're never going to use the utility, and then all the utility gets used where? The last room where you're standing, and you could just see right there, shut down the auto shotgun, shut down a lot of the other players. I think we're stuck staring at the ground, not able to see.
Yeah, pretty much.
A lot of the flashes absolutely full blind them. So looks like we're here on this C store again, as we have rotated sides, and we're here on Olympus Hades.
Yeah. So last time we did see Rebel Alliance trying to do a kind of storage taking Teller, and it worked out pretty well for them. They also had a split with Green, where Dylan pushed up into Freezer. I think they kind of know how to counter their own plan, get that barb down there in Teller. I think that's definitely being able to use the Teller hole here, a guy up here on the door swinging out. It's very difficult to flash any defenders on the other side of the Teller glass. So, yeah, this barb it pretty much shuts down that play.
Yeah. I would have liked to have seen it long way, but this is also fine. That is an acceptable placement. Just because, again, if you're making them walk through this choke the long way, it's really difficult for
It's
attackers.
brutal, yeah.
It makes it hard for you to do a peek when the barb is like a little bit deeper, so they have to walk into it and then try to peek this angle, which is suicide, basically.
Yeah, so it looks like the attackers are going to do a double charge, I think. They wanted to do a wall charge on the storefront as well as the storage. Maybe I think they plan on just pushing up into fridges, having cover on storefront from the Saber maybe outside.
Yeah, already putting that wall charge on here.
Yeah.
Roby, I also like this door, that green door hold as well off of the freezer. I hope he continues to just wait on that. But Big Me's just waiting off of this. As the molly goes out, cap for the delay, and now the wall charge goes out. They said we're not even gonna go for this button. We're gonna make our own hole to the storefront, right?
Yeah, I kind of saw once the second charge came out. The defenders were kind of confused. They turn around, they're like, wait a second, what? A second one?
Dylan now knocking out for the green door. Tries to put down some damage. Now it's getting charged by Booty Frank, but gets dropped on the backside. Oh man. As we see Duke and Don now pushing in, and Cat's just flanking behind them with that knack. Absolutely guns him down. Donboy backing off here. Finally, Baked Beans picks up Dylan, who has been absolutely ravaging the attacking team, has been neutralized, as the kids say.
Yeah, so far...
Oh, Digital! Oh! Gets the 2-shot with the Igmar from across storefront out on Baked Beans. Of course, no cover really out there. Donboy now using that frag on Teller. At least that's been used, but they're just holding that backside. It's down to a 2 attacker versus 4 defenders, and they're just slowly getting picked apart as they kind of go through here. Roby now laying down a little bit more of that long-range fire. I'm with that large KR. It might be just Shadow needs to save stuff. Donboy just needs to do some maneuvers here.
Yeah,
I think Shadow did get
and the Saber.
Yeah, so he's got to save, but Donboy can actually move forward with 10 seconds. It kind of felt like he don't save your AP. Just try to make something happen there.
Yeah.
I mean, he was wounded and stuff, but that was a really good defense there. I was surprised. I thought they had somebody watching that green door, and Dylan walked out and did a lot of damage to Baked Beans off the start.
It really seemed like Mollusk Munchers just were not ready for the defenders playing so aggressively. I mean, Dylan playing right up on that green door. There was a huge gunfight there with Booty Frank, I believe, and Dylan won it. And then over on the other side of the map, Cat's just pushing into storage. They didn't have a barbed wire that I think Mollusk Munchers had on their defense that you mentioned, kind of cuts off their rotates a bit. And yeah, Rebel Alliance really took advantage of that rotate and pushed in, and the attackers just weren't ready for the really aggressive plays, and they kind of just got picked off because of it. Yeah,
Dylan 300 damage over any other player in the game right now, so he is kind of the linchpin that's kind of carrying this thing from being a little bit more even to, I think, being a lot more of Rebel Alliance being up here, because he's doing a lot of work, especially with the harassing that he's been doing in the game, right? His aggression is not getting checked, and that's kind of causing some problems for Mollusk Munchers here.
Yeah, it's really those extremely aggressive plays, like more aggressive than I think I've even seen like some of the more aggressive teams like Gnomes do in the past. He just really just holds his W key and seriously does not let go. And Mollusk Munchers just aren't ready for that level of aggression.
I'm assuming it's start punishing it. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Like, I think if they were a bit more prepared for it, they would probably be able to punish it a lot more. And I think if Dylan does get killed early on and doesn't get to do much during the round, I think the round would probably swing towards Mollusk Muncher. But yeah, back on this bank, we see the attackers gonna go with it looks like an entrance take, although no, they've got marked for, they're gonna do a 3-2 split, so 3 going towards the green entrance towards accounting and manager. I think they're gonna sit like 2 people outside entrance. The entrance blow, the door is gonna blow up the kind of cover in lobby here, so the Saber will be able to get some angles into entrance. And
I'm interested to see I'm surprised Digital is not playing off a Teller with the sniper, but instead he's playing front lobby. I feel like
I think he's gonna get a shot and then fall back into security.
Yeah, exactly. And then hold backside hall, possibly even rotating around towards Loans and Teller.
Yeah.
I just feel like this can be like a really gnarly angle that you can take, so that's always like an interesting.
Yeah, but it's also the angle that the Saber is going to be looking at, right? So you might be able to peek out and catch the Saber by surprise. I definitely don't mind it too much, actually, because if they were to blow hallway, he's in lobby, so he's fine. But if they blow entrance, he can always rotate around, as you said, over to loans and look back through.
Yeah, here we go. It's going to be sniper duels. They're holding off that green.
So yeah, not too much presence from the defenders in accounting. They're kind of holding more lobby and teller.
Yep. Oh, and there, Baked Beans finally gets Dylan, and that's huge. That's the pick-off we were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
It's going to be up to... Oh, and Hero gets picked off from the other side of lobby, off by Don Boy. And now Shadow kind of has control of Teller. As they start pushing in, they have full button control. They have the pre-hallway into getting into loans. So, I mean, it's going to have to be going through the door.
Placing a reactive barb very strangely. I would have expected that reactive barb to go down on the door and not on the hallway.
Yeah, exactly.
I guess because the door was open.
And now they have control over this angle as well. So as long as Donboy just holds that flank. And here we go. Oh, Booty Frank tries to rotate in and gets cut down, as well as Digital Doctor and Shadow. It's down to a 2v2 here. Or 2v3, sorry, as I was hoping that Duke would have gone in. I know he's... Oh, that sniped by Baked Beans comes in off that hard angle as Ro tries to challenge him, and then he gets dropped too. Oh my goodness. I mean, yeah, it was good taking the aggression, but at... You know, do you have a sharper angle here? Yeah, that barber story. It was just attackers got into the challenge and was able to push these positions really quickly. And while the first two that went in did get taken down, it left a lot of good angles for Baked Beans to really clean people up as they started to kind of funnel back once they got those 2 kills. And it was still only like a 2v3. Or I think it was a 3v3, but then somebody got sniped. But yeah, that was a really good round for them.
Yeah, that was a really big comeback. I think they needed that round, really. Like to shift the momentum maybe. We'll see if they can carry that momentum into this next round on Killhouse, back on the Killhouse we saw earlier.
I will say too, that initial pick on Dylan, right, did not make an appearance in that round, right, because he got shut down right away, and then we could see them actually do a little bit more work trying to get those angles that they like without getting harassed or having that high level of aggression in their face.
Yeah,
they were able to like coolly work through the scenario instead of having kind of that wild card coming in.
Yeah, I think once Dylan died, Rebel Alliance kind of weren't as comfortable doing those super aggressive plays. You know, I can imagine if Dylan was still alive, they would have been pushing everything, and Mollusk Munchers just wouldn't be ready for it. But they kind of fell back a little bit, and I think it allowed Mollusk Munchers to be a bit more comfortable. But it does seem like last time we saw Rebel Alliance push up, go hallway, and take the north side of the map, it looks like Mollusk Munchers want to do the opposite. It looks like they want to go club, nade that barb, push in. They're thinking, do they want to use the nade on the lockers door or on the club door? It is a pretty tough thing to ask. Do they not have a charge? Oh yeah, they used a double charge on the first round, and then used a charge last round. So yeah, they're down to an eco here. Yeah, that losing that double charge on the first round is pretty detrimental.
Yeah, 100%. It definitely puts them in a disadvantaged position, especially on a map like this. It'll be interesting to see. It does. We do see Baked Beans now has the mop instead. No longer has the saber. That is the change there, and we do see one AK on Donboy here. So one of the short ones anyway.
Yeah, I think those defender weapons on the attackers will be pretty huge. I mean, the mop, it's so easy to use an attack. And the AK just shreds through defenders.
Yeah, they're gonna have to be. I like this that Dylan's playing off of this pillbox too. He's waiting to see if he can maybe get a pick off here or hearing somebody and then pop out of the pillbox. He is in a safety position, so standing in the center here. He's also looking at this door, like angle. But we can see them starting to move up towards this towards the green. I mean, defense is placed pretty heavy here with Cats waiting on this side here for this bar, and then you have Hero as well off of this green door. So, and Rose is waiting to either catch somebody off of this green or rotate past. As you can see, they're starting to trade out through these wall bangs. And
we got Rabbi on the auto shotgun there in Brick House, but he's not really going to meet anyone.
frag goes out and they do get the door open. Smoke on that bar door. I really would have liked to see somebody try to get to like possibly rotate in there, but
yeah, we'll have to see what Cats does with this barbed wire. If he can rotate around to site and barbed wire off the backstage, that'll be pretty huge for the defense.
No attackers walking out. Oh, now Shadow rotates back, but yeah, oh, John Boy finally gets cut down. His Cats with the flank, and now Duke is stuck in the middle. Oh man. Baked Beans, if Roby waits just a little bit longer, he can absolutely get the flank and just start murdering people. Cat's now kind of waiting off the backside there as Dylan picks up one off a stage. Oh, and there's the shot. Okay, Baked Beans picks up Roby as he was trying to make his way with that auto shotgun, but it's down to Shadow and Baked Beans, and the flash goes up but bounces it off the wall by mistake, and Cat's is still there. Shadow gets picked up afterwards. Dylan now making his statement here after making him drop the last time. As Baked Beans picks up another one, Cat should try to challenge from behind here, but Dylan now laying down shots. Yeah, he's gonna clean him up right at the end because Dylan got him to bait the shot out. All right, well, Baked Beans tried to do some work with that sniper, but man,
yeah, it just wasn't enough, unfortunately.
Too many angles.
We saw the use of that hallway green door. We mentioned it in the. It's a pretty scary door on attack. If you're pushing club, you kind of want to have, you know, one eye on the door, one eye on where you're going. Like and really Mollusk Munchers just didn't. And Cats opened the door. He should have gotten just like absolutely domed the moment he opened the door, but he didn't. And he ended up getting 2 kills. And then once he got 2 kills and fell back, immediately Dylan pushes out, gets another kill. It was just kind of round over at that point.
I really would have liked to see just a little bit faster paced. I like the frag for the barb. But they used that smoke early, which I don't think they needed to. What they needed to do is use that smoke and then smoke out the bar, right?
Yeah,
and
something like that.
And then you can rotate in there for free. You don't have to worry about the backside flank. It just felt like if you're not going to have somebody dedicated to watching that back door when you first enter, just smoke that off and then push as hard as you can into the backstage area. Yeah, it was just a lot of angles there where you had to rotate back and forth 180. But we have switched completely to entirely new maps. Everything is now refreshed. So it's kind of a start over here, but it is 5-1. This is kind of like the dire point value for if it goes 6-1, it's really hard to come back for. This gives you a little bit of leeway moving forward to try to start swinging the momentum back here as we do see MM on attack to start.
Yeah, so we got a really tall map here. Can't even see the entire map on the screen.
Requires a little bit of panning, yes.
But we do see the attackers looking towards castle. I think this castle is very much a really important area. It's a really central location. The defenders, if they're able to just stay in there uncontested, it can be pretty brutal for the attackers. I mean, the castle has it has great views over the bomb. But a big thing with this map is Omni Bomb allows you to kind of just, if you can get up onto the bomb, you sit behind the bomb, and there's really, I don't know if there's really any angles that the defenders, like, if they're forced back to the north side of the map, it's really difficult to retake this bomb.
Yeah, I agree. Plus, you end up either having to then charge into castle or work through this water, which is really a difficult push. And I don't think, if I remember correctly, I don't think that this is actually, I think that's actually full wall, so you can't even like fire across. There's like no open area there. So,
I think on this map you really need to control that south side. Like, you need to keep control of it just so that you can't have the attackers doing that thing. But it's like the attackers blow up castle and Molotov comes down immediately.
Yeah, Digital did take a little bit of damage there trying to get that early harass, as we do see the attackers now setting up. Shadow has dropped down now into base. Roby patiently waiting on that back side. That is such a good rat spot. I mean, if you can be chilling out back here or here, I mean, he's just waiting for Shadow to come up on him. I think Shadow might be kind of having an idea here as he finds Roby, sniffs him out. As we see the door breach go off, they bust in and absolutely drop Cats right away. As now Shadow is working his way around, but Baked Beans did get picked up on the backside by Digital Doctor. And now it's down to Digital Doctor and Dylan as he baits Booty Frank across the map, or across the bridge here. Now Shadow trying to taking some damage here too. Digital putting in a lot of work right now. Dylan going all the way around the world to try to get on the other side of this bomb as he picks off Shadow on the backside. as Digital takes some more shots on Donboy. Man, they just are not aware where these two defenders are sitting. One in the water, and then Dylan working his way all the way around. Bomb was starting to get defused as the molly does go out. Donboy finally picks up one. And that lets him get back to the bomb with 28 seconds left. This is Omnibomb, so they can start the defuse again, but can Dylan get the rotation? As he drops down, he can pick up Donboy, and does! It's down to Duke! Oh, he gets the defuse, though! Oh, Dylan gets all of the kills! Dylan loses the round!
Oh, that was so close. Dylan doing a really risky...
Oh.
Yeah, he did a really risky rotate there. You know, he could have continued playing off that runes with the time left, but he was like, you know what? He made the split-second decision to quickly rotate around. It almost worked out for him. It was just unfortunate that the bomb was so diffused that the attacker could just quickly jump on it and finish it off.
Man, him and Digital really, I just don't think knew where they were. I mean, they kept running across that bridge and getting shot in the back, and all you had to say is one low in the water, right? Like that's what got you, right?
Yeah, one below you in the water.
Yeah. Man, what a murder spree! Oh my
you really have to be careful of those kind of little rat spots in places like the water and stuff like that, because it can be kind of hard to see the defenders in those areas. You know, you have to really make sure that you're clearing it properly, and that time it almost ruined the round for Mollusk Munchers not clearing those angles properly.
Just a second or two too late to be able to get that round ended, because man, that early bomb diffusing too really helped out.
Yeah, just hopping on the bomb the moment you get the opportunity. You know, it really forces the defenders to start playing quickly, because I mean they've only got 10 seconds left to before the round's over. If they don't do something now, they lose. But yeah, we move on to Factory, Odin Bear.
Yeah, it's the same too. So
it does look like I think earlier in the planning phase, I saw the attackers were looking at maybe a wall charge out of Boiler here. But it looks like they're more looking towards Dock now to do a 3-2 split, 3 going towards Dock and 2 going towards Green. I don't mind this. I do definitely think the defenders are looking to hold the Boiler early because they got that barb set up. You know, if you put down a barb, you want to look at it.
Yeah, but I'm not really sure about that barb, because if you take the stairs, you can just go around that.
You just kind of go over it. You can just jump over it.
I do not like this green door at all. I would never go to this green door, not in a million years, because the advantage of being high or low off of this boiler, you could be standing up on this railing or on this, looking through this green door, and it gives you cover from the window, so you're only seeing like a little bit, right? And then you've got at least three positions you have to look for to clear boiler just on that green door, and that's just not a good time. Granted, there's gonna be nobody there because Roby's actually watching this backside. Dylan is on the high side too, though. But there's going to be a gnarly crossfire that's going to come in here.
Yeah, it's hard to flush out the defenders.
Yeah, the molly does go out here on Dock, as that does get blown. They don't have a saber though, so because that got lost in that last rotation. Baked Beans does have the black tar though. His Cats is up in that office. Second molly gets thrown. It's a little bit shorter, but still good. As now the molly is down. Dock. Oh, they pick him up! Wow, he must have heard him inside. Booty Frank with the bat ears finds a hero. A Shadow now pushes in, but Dylan picks him up right after. As Cats picks up Booty Frank off that crossfire. It's so hard. That is a 90-degree swing if you don't have somebody watching the other side. As now Duke and Donboy push in. Roby now rotating backside. Might pick up Duke here. Oh, get some shots in. Does pick him up ultimately. Roby. Dan, you need to be paying attention to that man just rolled in. He picks him up. Baked Beans now watching that long angle, as I think they all think that they're coming from that direction. They are getting 2 points of pressure here, but Baked might get picked up here by Digital. Does not see him on the stairs yet. They both walked, and he picks up the double! Oh my goodness, Baked Beans, they walked right into a line, and that's it. Another one for MM. Wow, I hope we got that on a replay, because I'd love to see just how he just probably was just spamming in the one walked into the line of fire.
I think
it looks so good.
I think Digi turned just the split moment when Baked Beans looked up, because Digi was looking down there with the And I mean, if Baked Beans showed his head in that moment, he would have got domed. But I think Digi kind of hesitated slightly, looked to the left for like just a split moment, and that was enough for Baked Beans to peek up and kill both of them. They kind of lined up.
For sure.
Yeah,
I thought there was going to be a little bit more action on that boiler early, but it seemed like they kind of just gave that up right away and then kind of just did a fallback. But yeah, I mean, oh yeah, he just looked away last second. I don't know what he was looking for though. He just needed to sit and watch the stairs. Right?
Yeah,
you
pretty
have,
much.
you have
With
cats
his
on the backside watching the other side. It just is so interesting. He's literally looking at the door, did not know he came in, and then looks away last second, and it's just...
I think it was just that small moment of hesitation. He was like, oh... there, but it was just a split moment. Yeah, it's those tiny mistakes that can get you, man. It's really rough in those situations.
And then it's just they line up perfectly too, right?
The stars align.
That's the face into the palm if you've ever seen it, right?
Yeah, it's rough. But yeah, Mollusk Munchers clawing their way back into this game. It was pretty rough in the first half for them, ended 5-1, but they've so far done pretty well on the second half. We'll see if they can continue that momentum into the C-store.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Intruder Warrior. Here we go. This storefront, big, very big.
Yeah. It's got the yellow double door we see sometimes, which is a bit strange, but always funny to see. They're a bit confused on where they want to put the wall charge. They were thinking maybe we can go green, just wall charge out onto the bomb. Now they're thinking maybe we do it into Teller or something.
I mean, I like the shed play here. You're like, oh yes, we're using a wall in on this, but I mean, it does give you the avenue in. I hope they do bring I hope they have a frag for that. But
yeah, I mean, as well, they've got a wall charge, and the defenders know that, and they're set up for a storefront push. I mean, they got 3 barbs down at storefront, so if you don't go storefront, you're not going to meet as many barbs.
Yeah, I do also like the fact that this door is so far back. You again, you probably could use this as a defender, hit another weird barb placement. Oh, I guess they're just making sure that you can. I would have liked. Well, I guess they're thinking that we can just rotate
out. Then. Yeah, if they go storage, you need to fall out of that tiller. And if you have to go through your barb, you might get caught out. Okay, they decided last second to move the final barbed wire up towards green instead, which...
I like that placement.
I like it, but it might play against them because it looks like the attackers are going towards storage, in which case they're going to ignore every single barb on the map. All 4.
Digital laying down a little bit of fire. It doesn't pick up really anything that I can see unless it was only armor damage. But yeah, as Shadow's now permanently installed on that window, they do have a frag. Yeah. They do get that storage blow, but Molly goes out right away, and all the defenders rotate towards for now. So there's more Mollies to come. As Shadow finally gets Digital Doctor, he's been the other really producer for Rebel Alliance too. So as another Molly goes out, oh no, okay, good. They only waste 1 flash. As Hero comes in with the knack. Duke getting caught a little bit as he was starting to push in. Shadow now rotating in towards it, and he challenges the knack again in a 1v1 fight. Is a losing proposition here, as we are down to only 2 attackers really left, or 3 attackers left, excuse me. As we see Baked Beans is way out in the boonies here on the south side of the map. Hero now just trying to lay down some more damage. He's really enjoying this knack at close range. Yeah, you don't really want to challenge that in a close range fight. Double knacks coming off through both of these doors. Makes it so hard. Flash finally goes out as they start moving in, but they're trying to take an angle here, but there's no sniper outside anyway. So Donboy finally picks up 1. His Hero is just waiting to do the rotation, and Dylan with the aggression walks in, and Baked Beans kills Donboy for him.
Oh no! He's trying to shoot Dylan, but hit Donboy instead. Whew, yeah, no, I was watching Hero being really patient on that green door, as like the attackers just weren't looking at the green door, and I was so scared. Like if Hero opened the door at any point, he'd get a free kill on Donboy or someone.
And then Dylan's like, "Hold my beer."
And Dylan's like, "Mate, come on, just push it. And he goes.
And then you know what's the best when you're playing this game, because team kills give you negative experience. When you do suicide somebody and force the enemy team to kill their own guy, you're like, yeah, I got you with that negative experience, right? That's like the ultimate disrespect, where you do get the kill on them and they killed their buddy, and you're like, oh, that was just horrible, right? Like, I technically got 2 people and I penalized you. Oh, it's so mean. I'm glad we got to see Dylan on some of that unchecked aggression again that game.
Yeah. Absolutely,
I will say,
it's really been a
whenever you have that, whenever you have that knack, don't attackers stop challenging that. You're never gonna win that 1v1 duel. That gun is literally the counter 1v1 duel weapon, right? At choke points, right? It's just the only worst thing would be like opening up a door and then just getting shotgunned to the face, right? Like
an auto shotgun walks out or something. It's basically the Terminator walks out.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, moving back onto this dome that we saw earlier, it looks like the attackers are surprisingly going for a pit push. I don't mind it. I don't think it's too bad. I just don't see anyone do it. Most people just try and take the bottom side of the map. You know, usually the kind of meta strategy is to blow castle so that you can have someone sitting outside to clear out these windows up here, and then you just send the rest of the guys go base, take control of base, and then you kind of have the south side of the map. But in this case, they're looking for the north side, which I'm pretty excited about.
I'm interested to see how this plays out. I'm betting they're going to do a lights play because power is here. And they do have Saber. They do have a solo Saber coming in on beach, which can be a little bit scary. But as long as you just hunker down and wait for the lights to go out, you can actually then kind of scan base and see if you can get anything. The other thing I just realized about this map, which maybe I'm just dense, is there's no ops, right? So it's like, it is a lot of just check your corners and angles and stuff. There's no free intel by being able to see through a wall and calling people's positions out. So surprisingly, it's a lot of just check your corners here, and there's not, you would have to make good call-outs for this. As we see the attackers starting to stack up, I do think they can see Dylan here out the window though, so they do know that this is coming. Lights does go out. Digital is underneath the map running back though, so he hasn't gone out onto beach yet. As Booty Frank finally takes out one off of the start, as Katz was pushing in towards this. That castle position really scary here.
Yeah, the defenders kind of moved out of base up to the north side of the map.
Yeah, I think Doctor can get some picks here if he plays it right. They're not looking his direction on that green door, but Booty Frank picks up a second. As they get that long flash, as Dylan finally starts moving in, drops him, but Donboy picks him up right after as Baked Beans puts down Digital Doctor, and that was the backside. So it is only here left here in a 1v4. I mean, you only have an AP and a dream, so you might as well see if you can actually do some damage before it's
I think he's gonna go save the clacker instead. Yeah.
Smart.
They got 2 more rounds, so you know they got plenty of charges left.
Nope, that's the smart play here, especially when it's 6-3 currently.
6-3, yeah.
Yeah, you gotta. This is oh, he's gonna try to work.
Gonna go for the saber as well. I was thinking to myself, it's a little bit dangerous to kind of run out there in case someone kicks open the red door or something. But
yeah, I'm surprised they dedicated nobody to base. Right? Like, hey, we've got. Oh, I think they're waiting for Baked Beans to take the snipe here, but it would be nice if they would have put somebody off of this as well. You can get the call out, and he does get the saber as Donboy rotates over. I think he sees him. He now knows he's on base, and he's like,
"Oh shit!" He just stays exactly where he is. He's fine.
Yeah, he'll be. Whoa. Yeah, he's in full cover now. Yeah, as long as he hides behind those sandbags, he's perfectly safe. Hey, yeah, he tried to take a shot on Donboy. Oh, tries to get one. Right.
Oh, he
got him!
Donboy pushing his luck.
Just popping those heads. All right. Well, no, I mean, 6-4. I mean, we still technically are on game point right now. But man, like making him work for it now. Yeah. 1,800
damage.
Yeah.
Dylan really going crazy this game.
Nobody's catching that, man.
Everyone else is pretty equal on kills and damage kind of thing. You just got Dylan sticking out like a sore thumb.
I mean, I will say that Booty Frank really put in some work there off of that door. I mean, he's seeing shot. Oh, they never shot the lights out on the doorway either, so he's able to see their little their silhouettes too.
Yeah, the attacker's kind of just getting peeked and not being able to peek back. And as well,
Yeah,
the
definitely.
defenders had pretty good crossfire set up, pretty good ways to
Mm-hmm.
trade for their teammates when they die. But yeah, moving on back to this factory that we saw earlier. Looks like the
Ooh,
attackers this time.
early Barb.
Yeah, putting it on the actual door itself. I don't mind that. I think it's pretty good.
No, I do. Yeah, I think it's pretty good.
But yeah, it looks
Again,
like
you
they're playing
dedicate
for a
somebody
pretty
to peek.
similar strat.
That makes it good.
Yeah, that's the main thing. You kind of you need to look at the barb. You can't just put it there and assume the attackers are gonna waste all their utility on nothing.
Well, that's kind of where it's like if they do end up kicking this door and you get some damage on them, you should have enough time to be able to make it out through the doorway before they're able to get up and actually pick you, right? That's the kind of goal
and
there.
as well, if you actually show some presence on the barbed wire, the attackers don't know if you're going to show presence again. Like if you don't show any presence, the attackers are going to be like, well, is there anyone here? Do I have to use a nade on this barbed wire? Do I even have to use a flash? Can I just walk through it? And if they just walk through it, it's a waste of a barbed wire. But if you actually show presence straight away, they're going to be like, okay, guys, we need to nade this barb. Let's just use the nade.
I don't like some of these decisions. Put the barb here. Hold off the box, or I mean, or you can fit the barb right here.
I'm not really sure where that
I'm like,
barb
this is killing me.
I assume that's like slightly misplaced.
I hope so. I hope he's looking at this scenario going, I don't like this at all.
Yeah, maybe it's some sort of reactive barb for somewhere.
Okay, so no barb now goes down on green. They're rotating back with it. This is just.
Have they just forgotten their barbs or something?
No, they've got them. This gets placed here. I'm not really a fan of that, but that's fine. Green door gets smoked out, but there's nobody there. Flash goes out on the deep side. Okay, good barb placement here. That got fixed.
Yeah, that's much better.
We do see this will get blown, so this barb actually getting placed there could be helpful.
Could be, yeah.
As we see
the sniper battle here.
Oh, Baked Beans gets dropped right away, and that is sniper down.
That is huge.
Yeah, that's not great. And now you have all this pressure coming from the backside while you have this other three-mans. Oh, as Booty Frank gets dropped as well. This is already starting to come apart for MM. Frag goes out deep, but it's down to these last guys all in the center area. As we see Shadow pick up one, that is Dylan. Shadow is tucked in. Oh no, I think Shadow's stuck. He fell down.
He's stuck? No.
He's in a really gnarly spot, but gets dropped by Hero. Did have the opportunity to get some surprise damage, but I think he ended up getting stuck in between here. And I think that's pretty much it.
That is it. Rebel Alliance picking up the last round, taking the series. So they are through to relegations next week.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I mean, I will say MM did put up some good defense there. A little bit questionable on this. Even with Shadow getting stuck in there, unfortunate. But you can kind of try to play through that, right? Like, what you can end up doing is, okay, so he's there, so okay, he at least has an angle on stairs to a degree, which means I don't have to worry about that. I can rotate and try to cover off that back side. It just felt like I think they got a little bit like thrown off by the, hey, I fell down and I'm stuck now, but you can actually kind of play through that element at that point. But yeah, I hopefully will get fixed in the future.
Yeah, I feel like in that last round, Mollusk Munchers were kind of just a bit confused. Like they didn't really follow their plan with where they were putting their barbed wires. It was kind of like the players just had to go, I guess I'll just throw this barbed wire here. And they only brought 2. I don't know if they had more. I thought they had planned for like 3, but yeah. And then after that, it kind of seemed like they were just a bit, uncoordinated. It was Don Boy was kind of looking the other way as the attackers were pushing out of that center door in the middle of the map, and yeah, it just didn't really seem the communication was there or the coordination was there. Like I think we saw better from them in previous rounds, but yeah, I mean, just looking at the stats, Yeah, it's pretty clear to see they really weren't able to shut Dylan down in enough rounds. I think they were able to a little bit more in the second half. They were kind of understanding it a bit better, but I mean, it was kind of like a playground for him. He was just running around mindlessly, really. He would just push everything, and Mollusk Munchers weren't really able to deal with it.
Yeah, 100%. I do feel like they did a really good job. Dylan specifically, yeah, again, like when they shut him down, you could see Mollusk Munchers really benefit from that happening, and then were really, really able to control the game and play it at the pace and style that they wanted. But as soon as Dylan was up, or the other person that really was making his mark, especially on that game, was Digital Doctor. I think he did a really good job as well. He was always in those really cheeky positions, and it felt like he was never getting called out for it. Right? Like he kept peeking and doing weird stuff where it's like, why haven't they said that there's a guy over here to kill this man, right? And he was always a very good long range support, which really helped Dylan's aggression, right?
Yeah.
And I think both of those two kind of working in tandem was really, really good. And Cats even took some really cheeky angles. Hero and Roby, they were doing a lot of close range support, and I think that's why a lot of their score reflects the fact that they were kind of on the front lines a lot. But yeah, I think overall they did a really, really good job. And I'll say Booty Frank was trying to do his best with like a lot of the snipes and with a lot of the angles. Baked Beans trying to do what he could with the snipers and was really trying pretty hard there. And the rest of their team was definitely doing their best to work their way through. But yeah, it makes it so tough. There were just some of those moments where you're like, man, if I wouldn't have switched to that Molly, I could have cleaned up at least two guys right there. Hey, I looked the wrong way and then got sniped last second. Or I mean, they had some really good plays where Dylan did get that 5K too. Man, what a freaking round where you get the win, but you still the bomb got defused and you lost. Right, Omnibomb specifically really coming into play, like you said, on that map specifically, where it's like, hey, they're on that back side, and you now have to like walk over and try to challenge them. So, really, really interesting setup there. Yeah, again, Dylan, I will just say on that play, like rotated back and forth multiple times. Oh, they gave a call. He's up on the upper side, so they were watching it. But nobody was watching from the water side, so it gets the double right there, right? But I mean, it just so happened that it took long enough for that rotation that they had 1 second left to defuse. So it was a really good set of games and rounds here.
Yeah, I think first half it was a bit rough for Mollusk Munchers, but they definitely pulled it back in the second one. I think in terms of like the mistakes they were making and the reason that they were losing some of those rounds, like I don't think it's hard for them to fix. I think if they just look back on their VODs and kind of the mistakes that they made, I think they can improve significantly and really make sure that they're not kind of making those small mistakes that lose them rounds. And I think next season we'll see them come back pretty strong. Honestly, I think they'll be a one to look out for.
Yeah, I think tightening up a little bit of the gameplay will definitely help them out. Also, one thing I'm noticing is they're doing a lot of lights up plays, but not shooting the lights above the doors, right? And I think maybe it's just players might not 100% be aware that is a thing that can happen. But I also will say that I think once object destruction kind of starts making its way back into the game, I think players will be a lot more aware of the destructibility of like a lot of objects in the game. So that'll be exciting.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, absolutely. I can't wait. But yeah, that's about all there is for today. The other matchup, actually, Wasted Potential versus I think it was We're Not Sponsored by Red Bull. I ended 7-1 in favor of Wasted Potential, so they are also through to relegations next week.
Nice.
Yeah,
congrats to them as well.
That's we know all the teams that will be in relegations now, and
well, I'm glad we got to watch this game because this was a little bit more close.
Yeah, a little bit closer,
and which made it way more fun to cast.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it was really fun casting with you today, Z. Thank you very much for joining us.
Absolutely.
And thank you very much for Akazo for doing the production today as well.
Yes.
But yeah,
thank you.
That's about all there is for today, unless you have anything more to say.
That's all I got.
All right, awesome. So yeah, I guess, yeah, we'll see you again next week on Saturday for the start of the Upper League playoffs. I'll catch you all later. Bye.